Yes, testing. All right, let's go ahead and start. Is it recording? Oh, okay.
She's like, I'm already there.
So, don't edit much. Everything goes.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Welcome to A Connection is a Connection, the show where we take a break from business talk and dive into the personal side. Today, we're sitting down with our guest, Laura, to uncover the stories, quirks, and passion that may make them tick. Let's have some fun and get to know them like never before. First, let's give a warm welcome to our guest, Laura. We are here to keep it light and fun, so let's jump into some questions. Before we start with the first question, Laura, can you give us just a brief intro about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi everyone. My name is Laura. I am the founder of Busted. I'm an expert bra fitter. That was after 20 years or so in corporate America. I am an avid scuba diver and world traveler as well.
Nice. Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yeah,
okay.
Go for it.
Let's do this. What's a fear you've conquered that you're proud of?
You know, I don't generally consider myself a person that has a lot of fears, but I'm human, right? So we all have fears. And it was interesting because I, as mentioned at the beginning, I worked in corporate for 20 years and I decided to quit and do the entrepreneur thing. And I had been saving for a long time to do that. And I didn't think I had any fears for it until the day I went to go give the notification to my boss. And I was like, oh, shoot, like it's real now.
Yeah.
You know, it was no longer just a theory. So I bit, the bullet and was like, let's do this. I can do this. So, I didn't think I had any fears, but you never know. Like I said, till you're right in front of needing to do it in that moment, and it was like, okay, I can do this. So, and I'm so happy I did. So it's really just very rewarding working for myself and doing all kinds of things.
Nice. So did you know at that moment that you were going to go into the bra business?
Yes, I've had the business for a long time. I was doing it on the side. And frankly, a lot of people said to me like, well, I didn't know your business was doing that well. And I said, well, it's not. That's why I'm quitting, because I knew I needed to really commit and put full time into it. So that was even more part of the fear, right? Was I wasn't doing so well that I needed to quit my job. It was like, no, I think I can do this, right? I know I can do this. And so I took the leap. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the most awkward thing that's ever happened to you on a first date?
So this is kind of funny because I'm actually friends with him now.
Oh.
So, I don't know. I just tend to meet some really good people. And so even if dating doesn't work out, become friends sometimes. Yeah. And so, but the first date was definitely awkward because he was telling me about this time or the situation where he was arrested.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's straight, that's a first date. This is not we got to know each other and he's like, I'm going to reveal this now, right? I was like, that's not first date material. So how do you respond to that? First date, that's very weird. So yeah, a little bit awkward. And I don't usually get too awkward. So it was like, okay, let's move on from this discussion. I don't know what do you want me to save that, right?
Yeah.
It's weird. But
so was there a second date?
I think we did go on a second date, but it's definitely I just felt bad about it. I was like, oh, I was like, maybe I should give him another shot, but now we're friends now and everything is good, but it was funny.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
If you were paid $1,000 to embarrass yourself in public, what's the first thing you'd do?
Take the money. I would absolutely take the money. Since I was young, I was in theater, in performance, in dance. So I'm comfortable in front of crowds. And there was even a time in high school, they did this hypnotist came and they were like, oh, if they didn't feel you were hypnotized, they were like, oh no, you're out, go sit down. And then when they thought they had all the people that were hypnotized, they were like, oh, do these embarrassing things. I faked the whole thing. I was not hypnotized, but I was like, I'll do it. It doesn't bother me. I mean, there are things that I would I would still get embarrassed about it. I'm not easily embarrassed, but there are definitely things that I would.
Yeah.
But I would take the $1,000 for it. Heck yeah. One little moment for $1,000. Yes. Sign me up.
Imagine you are sitting on a bench next to God. As you sit together, he smiles at you and asks, what's on your mind?
I often think about my great uncle. So he was actually a Catholic priest. I'm not a religious person, but he wrote a book that as a world traveler, I really was intrigued by, and I didn't, so he passed when I was like in like elementary school and grade school.
Uh-huh.
He was like I said, my great uncle. But he wrote this book as he was a pilot and traveling around Southeast Asia and Africa, and he interviewed these women about their thoughts on the spread of the Catholic faith. And it was a really, really interesting book because he just gave their, like, the raw stories, the good, the bad, whatever their feelings were. So it was just very interesting. I studied global business in college, and I actually wrote a paper on the study of women in their status in different countries. And then I read his book around that time, and I was like, this is just so interesting. So I feel like, turning back to God, I would have a discussion about like, what are your thoughts on, how are we doing as a society, right? Like, because that was such an interesting perspective. My great uncle was obviously a very faithful man, but he also was, willing to tell the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever, because it's really important that we do that. So I would just want to get his thoughts on like, what are we doing good and what are we not doing so great as a society, and what can we do to make things better?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When did his book come out?
It's been several years. So he actually passed before they published it. So his friend published it after he passed away. So it's been, I don't know, since I was little. So yes, it's probably a 30-year-old book.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
But I don't know, it was just very interesting. And like I said, it was all just facts. It was just these stories from these women that were just truly amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a life lesson you learned the hard way?
CYA, cover your behind.
Oh.
So this is kind of an interesting thing. I was an unpaid intern in college, and a client had said something to me and said, make sure you tell your boss or whoever. So I had told my supervisor, hey, you need to talk to the client. I'm trying to do my best to relay the information. But you definitely want to, chat with the client. She did not do that. The client was upset, said I didn't say anything. So anyway, long story short, I was fired as an unpaid intern.
Shoot.
So, it was an unpaid internship. At the end of the day, I got another internship, all good, but I realized that's the sort of thing you have to put that in writing. You always need to cover yourself, right? Like, I was definitely an easy scapegoat as an unpaid intern.
Yeah.
So it's like the trust but verify, right? Like, I can have a great relationship with you, but we're going to have a contract, that kind of thing. So I definitely like to make sure and cover myself.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a wardrobe malfunction in public?
Gosh. I don't think so. And it's funny because, like, like I said, I did lots of performances and stuff, and I just can't think of anything that's, like, truly malfunctioned, which is insane.
You're like the first one that we have.
No.
Yeah.
I have some funny stories of things. One was in private. One was just a funny costume that I wore in high school, because I like I said, I did performances. So I did like we called it drill team, color guard, flags, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I did lots of performances for that, and one of my performances was a solo performance, and I trying to remember the song. It's like a song from the 70s, but my instructor picked out my costume, and it was like fruit. It was like a fruit jumpsuit, and it had these like poofy mesh sleeves. I don't know. So everybody was like, Chiquita banana. Like I said, I don't embarrass easily though, so I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no major wardrobe malfunctions that I can think of. I feel like everybody runs into something. Like,
oh yeah.
have I just blocked it out mentally? Maybe? I don't know.
The ones that we've been getting quite a bit have been the bra malfunction.
Yes. And thankfully, because I have a bra company, that generally does not happen to me. But I will say, before I knew my right size, because I was just like every other woman wearing the wrong size. I didn't know before I even started the business. I started the business not knowing what size I was. So I had the, like, I call it muffin boob, so it's 4 when you're spilling out over the top. I had the, my band is way too high on my back thing. Like, I don't know if that's a malfunction to me, but I did not look good.
Yeah.
In my bras before I had my own company. But yes, if they're having malfunctions, they definitely need to see.
There you go.
Oh, goodness.
If you had to get a tattoo right now, what would it be and why?
So I have a few I want to get, actually. I said scuba diving, right? Like,
yeah.
I love scuba diving. So I have an old one I got like right when I was 18. I still like the content, but it's faded. And I want to change the content and want to get it to be a sea turtle. So yeah, I love sea turtles. I would like something that represents pieces of me. So I do have a few I'd like to get. I want to get probably in the same tattoo around the same area as a plumeria flower, because I also lived in Hawaii for some time and did my undergrad in University of Hawaii. So
nice.
Yeah, and I also want to get a globe for like the world traveling piece of me and stuff. So yes, I like things that really going to showcase who I am as a person.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you're stuck in an elevator for 3 hours with the worst enemy, what's your game plan?
I try not to have any worst enemies, but there are people that I would rather just not speak to. I'd rather not associate with. Feel like they've done things that I think are not okay. And I don't know that I need to try to resolve anything. I'm one of those people that's, they say, well, forgiveness is for yourself. Well, I think you can move on from something without true forgiveness, to be honest. So I imagine I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to lay down. We're just going to take some time to rest and be quiet, because frankly, I don't do that enough. I'm not going to sit and try to start anything. I'm not going to sit and try to resolve anything. If they want to start having a conversation, I guess it depends which way they go with it. But if it's up to me, I'm probably just going to say, let's just lay back and try to rest. I mean, we just don't have enough silence. So that's probably what I would do.
What's one hidden talent you have that's completely useless?
Now, if you've done theater and all of that.
Well, I am good at improv, because I did improv, but that is actually not useless because it makes me able to just speak to people. But
sure.
I was also a gymnast, so I'm fairly flexible. So there was this like one thing where they did this like broomstick. You start behind you, it comes forward, you wrap your leg around, and it ends up back in front of you. I don't know. You twist yourself into a pretzel for no reason. There's literally no use for that.
Yeah.
It was like one of those party tricks I would do, and then guys try to do it, and it's funny that they can't even get the first step of it over their head. It cracks me up every time. But
wow. Can you give us an example of anything that
an example of any what?
Any of useless talents?
That's it. The flexibility thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time here to spend it with us. Can you give us a 30-second commercial of your business and how people can contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, I'm an expert bra fitter. I sell bras, but my big passion is making sure that women are comfortable, supported, and feel beautiful in their bras. So I am a mobile company. I do in-home fittings and bra parties. And my company name is Busted, and that's BUST''. So you can find me on my website, Instagram, Facebook. It's BUST''. That's it.
Nice. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next one.
Thank you.